And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. Let me make sure that my sound is great. It is, and let's crack on. Before I begin this video, people are going to say to me, Ingram, you're not watching Arsenal versus West Ham. No, it's not a protest. Can't be bothered. Before I begin this video, I would like to say I am grateful for Arsene Wenger for where he took Arsenal from to where the top of his ceiling, where he took Arsenal to being unbeatable or on the untouchables that season, winning the FA Cup, winning the Premier League. That stuff, you can't take that away from the man. One thing he never did was win a Champions League. Got to Champions League final against Barcelona that 1 year with Henry, and that was it. Everything else has been quarterfinals and all the rest of it. And then it's been trying to hit fourth place. As long as we qualify for the Champions League, it didn't matter. Selling out our best players to rival clubs, who then go on to either win the Champions League or go on and win the Premiership. And we continue to be an academy team. So the levels of Arsenal, as far as I'm concerned, has been steadily dipping. Coming third, coming fourth, coming second, never win the Premiership title. This has been going on for years. So I'm thankful for Wenger to getting us to where I think was his peak. He never won a Champions League, and that is that. People say to me now, aren't you glad that he's leaving at the end of the season? No. And I'll break that down to you. I think he should have gone when the last FA Cup he won. That's when Wenger should have gone. And all this time now would have been perfect for the new manager to be getting in and to be letting the players know about his style, making a transfer window targets and buying the players that were necessary to bring in, getting rid of the dead wood and making the changes to, launch an assault on the Premiership to get into playing Champions League football. And then next season to really make an assault for the title. That is the sort of thing, or to see some improvement in Arsenal. But we've done worse this season so far than last season. So I guess my points are justified there. The thing is, we're not settling for second best. We're settling for fourth best to get into a Champions League. You look at all the top teams that are out there: Manchester United, a Man City, a Chelsea, a Liverpool, or Tottenham, and ask yourself this question: would Arsene Wenger been able to stay at those clubs with a mediocre record? Forget about the Premier League wins. After he won the Premier League title, after that, would he have been able to stay at those clubs for that amount of time, for the duration we've got him? And what makes it worse, Arsenal fans don't get it, able to leave on his own terms at the end of the season. So he's a mediocre manager, which he is now, or a mediocre manager, not coming up with the goods, bring your team, not even qualify for Champions League football, and then you're going to let him go on his own terms. And what we're thanking him for? Thanking him for bringing us fourth, thanking him for the Premiership titles. When's the last time Arsenal won the Premiership? He's been an underperforming manager for years, bringing players that are just not good enough, not investing in the transfer window, and then investing and pumping into other teams, and isolating or turning away or making the big players not want to play for us, or the big players that want to leave come to us, or making a mockery of us during the transfer window, or people like Henry and Vieira. These guys should be at the club. These guys should be in the club and a real part of the club. Instead, you got Henry at Belgium. You got Vieira, who was at Man City with what's his name, Arteta as well. Now, Vieira's now somewhere in America. I mean, these are progressive guys. You can see they're progressive. Henry said, that's it. I've had enough. I'm going to Barcelona to go and play wonderful football and win the Champions League. I'm going with Van Persie says I'm off. I'm going to go and play and win the Premiership. Alexis says he's off. He'll probably eventually go on and win the Premiership as well. But the bottom line is this. Gleeshy won a Premiership. Who else? The list goes on and on with Arsene Wenger and his. And you remember the season where he bought Kim Kallstrom on the transfer market? Why? I don't understand that. You know, the list goes on of Arsene Wenger making poor transfer decisions and just poor decisions in general. When to rest players, when to bring players in, just absolutely poor decisions he's made. And he's been mediocre. So I'm not thanking Arsene Wenger for any mediocrity. He should have gone. My sympathy or my tolerance was enough when he got to FA Cup, cut out. Now people are saying, let's just hope he wins the Europa Cup. Maybe they'll beat Atletico Madrid. I'm not holding out any hopes in that. And if we get to the European Cup final, Europa Cup final, well done. But am I excited about that prospect? Not really. I mean, good for Wenger that he gets to the end of the season, but and he does that for those Wenger in crowd. But it's a damage that continues being done at the club. And what makes it worse is that Wenger mindset and that cancer, which is the Wenger mindset, is that how much is that mindset and that belief system has now transferred onto the board, and how much of the board believe that bullshit that, you know, it's more about making money than it is about winning a title. It's more about making money than becoming one of the best teams in Europe. It's more about making money than being the champions of Europe. But surely, if you're the champions of Europe, you're going to make more money. Now, I don't know the ins and outs and day-to-day things that happen at the board with Arsenal Football Club. I certainly know from my football manager experience, certain things are not tolerated. Or there's a guy, you know, even if it's football manager, there is a standard that needs to be kept. You want to win the Champions League. You want to be winning in the Premiership. You want to be rated as one of the best teams in the world. And when you're one of the best teams in the world, the best players want to come and play for you. Okay? But this mentality of coming fourth and coming third and coming fourth, the expression they say, if you shoot if you shoot high enough, you really high, and you fall, you may still fall in a pretty high spot. But if you shoot low, you're always going to hit the bottom. And this is the situation with Arsenal Football Club. I don't get it. The man should be gone already, should be shot off. And it just shows you the state of Arsenal Football Club, that we're basically paying for garbage. We're paying for mediocrity. Oh, if we sack him, it's going to cost us money. Well, it's cost us money to keep him on and garbage. Whereas we could get rid of him and bring somebody else in now before the end of the season. We should have brought somebody in now to kind of get used to the club. Now already, I'm hearing names like Brendan Rodgers, Patrick Vieira, mediocrity again. I don't knock those guys. Let those guys be backroom staff if you want him. Someone like Ancelotti has to come in. We need the best of the best coming in. Ancelotti's won the Premiership. He knows how to do it. Bring damn Ancelotti in. He's a guy that knows how to win. He's not fiddling around. He's not one of these guys that sound good or the name sounds good to people in the UK. I want a guy that's going to win us the damn Premiership. I want a guy that's got some bite about him. I want a guy that's going to know how to win. He's coming in with a resume of knowing how to win. I don't want, and I want a guy like Ancelotti because he's the guy for me who knows what to do. He knows what he's about. Don't bring all these other names in, foreign managers that we don't know about. Bring Ancelotti in. He's the guy. He knows the Premiership. He understands the Premiership. He knows what it takes. And he'll get rid of the players that are not necessary at the club. But the question is, with the Arsenal board and the mindset, are they still, okay, we've got rid of Wenger, but the ghost of Wenger is still within them? Has he really twisted their mind up so much that they can't get rid of him? They could have got rid of him at the FA Cup. Have they twisted? Is their mind twisted and so saturated and so in love and infatuated with that Wenger that he'll end up hanging around somewhere as a director somewhere, or he'll be lurking around in the background somewhere, affecting who comes in? Remember when Wenger, Ferguson left, and he kept talking about who he wanted at the club, and he wanted what's this guy from Everton? He kept with this guy Moyes, and people said, "Oh, we can't wait for Moyes to come to Arsenal." Disaster. Came to Man United, didn't last long. It was an absolute disaster. And then the guy they brought in after was an absolute disaster. Now, look at the guy, Van Gaal. Van Gaal's rating is a very top coach. But he didn't last as long as Wenger, right? Mourinho, who'd won the Champions League with Chelsea. He went. He is there. Then he couldn't stand him more. They got rid of him. He came back and they got rid of him again. This is Mourinho, who's got a better record than Wenger. And he got slung out. So the excuses that Arsenal fans make are the excuses of those who are losers. It's a losing mentality. It's, oh, we're taking part, not good enough. The kind of people that want to have, would love to have a Ronaldo or Messi playing for the team, but scratch their head and wonder why they're not playing for Arsenal. But yet they'll moan and complain at Man City for having big guns going and playing for them because Man City want to win. So for me, my opinion, stuff the fans that are not interested in us becoming champions of Europe, or stuff the fans that don't want us to be champions of the Premiership. Forget those fans, put them to one side and go for mindset. We are going to be champions. We are champions. We deserve to be the champions of Europe. We deserve to be the champions of the Premiership. We deserve to be the best team in the world. That mindset, even if at the moment we're not capable of doing it because of transfers or because of formations or because we're not having the right manager, the mindset is there. So then the players understand that. So then the performances on the pitch are then not mediocre. So then, see, it starts from the top back down. And if the manager's got a mediocre mindset, why are you blaming the players? The manager has something to do with it. Can the manager motivate those players anymore? I don't think so. They're probably glad to see the back of him. And just think if you had a manager who was a winner a few years back and it wasn't Wenger, where Arsenal might have been. Would they have won the Champions League? Don't know. We just don't know. But we do know at the end of the season, Wenger is gone. And I think it's too late. And the thing that makes it worse for me and worries me is that, you know, you got Arsenal pundits like Paul Merson saying, oh, we should have Brendan Rodgers. For what? What has Brendan Rodgers done? Oh, he's done something. No. Has he won a Champions League? No. Get out of there. Has he won a Premiership? No. Out. Then bring in flipping Ian Dowie or bloody, what's the other guy they want to bring in as well? Or the thing of bringing in? You know, these managers in England are just not good enough. Just not good enough. I've had Eddie Howe. People talk about Eddie Howe, but what has Eddie Howe done? Has he won a Premiership? No. God, even Claudio Ranieri, the Tinkerman, he's won the Premiership with a lot less better players than flipping Arsenal. And he's won the Premiership. So you tell me, why are you still on this guy's arse, Wenger? Thank you for what? Thank you for what? So from the time Arsenal won their last Premiership to now, what have we got to thank Arsenal for? Arsenal for. What have we got to thank him for? So that's my point. And that's what it is. He should have gone. And that's it. Should have gone from the FA Cup. Gone. Would we have got Thomas Lemar in? Who knows? But I think the time he should have gone now or should have gone back then. The fact he's leaving his own terms is not good enough. He's a mediocre manager, and that's what it is. He hasn't been good enough to win a Champions League, and that is that. He's been a long-standing manager because the board have been tolerant and have not had the teeth to get rid of him. And any other board in any other, like a Barcelona or you think he could have stayed at Barcelona or Real Madrid with that sort of a record? That's what I'm talking about, standards. He could never have stayed at he couldn't even stay at a Tottenham. You want to knock Tottenham? He could never have stayed at a Tottenham for that, with that attitude. He'd have been gone. So I think I've said my point about Arsene Wenger. People might not be happy with what I'm saying. It might not suit their taste buds, but it is about winning at this point. We've done the taking part for many years. Now let's go and win the Premiership and win the Champions League. And it can be done. We just need to have the right manager to take us there. We might not do it overnight. And I'd like to see Ancelotti as manager. I'd like to see Henry coming in as assistant manager. I'd like wholesale changes of the backroom staff. Get rid of all the people in the backroom staff. Complete clean out. I'd like to have Vieira in the backroom staff, maybe having him as our looking for our youth section. I'd like to see Vieira there coaching, maybe. Bring some of the guys back from Arsenal. Those who are not intoxicated by drink, of course. I'd like to see Ian Wright have some sort of thing to do with Arsenal as well. All the people that have the heart for Arsenal and have pained it years. I've seen Arsenal be so embarrassing. That's it. That's my talk about Arsenal, and that's my reaction. Some of you may like it, some of you may hate it, but I'm a winner at heart, and you know, it's unacceptable. And this mediocre manager is now being allowed to walk away on his own terms. Not good enough. So those are my thoughts. Share your comments in the comment section below. And if you want to see how I've been doing as Arsenal manager, check us out, BWTM Gaming. The link is in the description box. And don't forget, at the end of this video, check out the other videos, our latest upload on the bottom of the right-hand side. Top right-hand side will be the subscription box. And then the best of BWTM is going to be in the left-hand corner. And then a playlist at the top at the end of this video. Check it out. See you soon. Take care.